When Lee first heard the word hospice, he felt like we were just putting him somewhere to die. He thought that we didn't want him at home anymore, and his opinion on the hospice was that it's just somewhere where people who are terminally ill go to die. I wanted him to see the fact that it's more than that. He needed that support. He was the biggest personality in the room. Yeah, hands down the biggest personality in the room. He would go to a party, know nobody, come out knowing everybody. He was just so full of energy, people would just bounce off him. On the other side, he was such a family guy, like James Lee was his world. Like, his family and his children were his life. So he spent 9 days at the Vic, and that was when the palliative care team first got involved with Lee. We'd not seen them this entire time from March till September, so we'd done really well. They were the ones who first started sorting out his pain, because pain was a massive thing. It was horrendous to see him suffering, so they started the syringe driver in hospital. At that point they offered Lee to be discharged from the hospital to the hospice, and he was against it because he thought people just go there and they don't come out. So he came home, and then he just wasn't getting any better with pain and sickness, and it almost got to the point where they were coming out every hour in the day and night to give him pain relief and anti-sickness. So we had a chat with him again, and he went into the hospice. He was a different person within 24 hours. He was almost himself. Came out with a syringe driver, but he slowly managed to get onto oral tablets because the plan was to get married in December. We managed to get to Lakes and we got married on the 14th of December, which was lovely. Lee was adamant. He was like, no, I can't get married with a syringe driver. I want to be able to not have to, because it came in a little bag that he had round him. He was like, I want to be able to get married without having to worry about that, like, that's what's happening. And I think once he gets something in his head, he wasn't, like, nothing was going to stop him type thing. So they slowly dropped what was in his syringe driver and replaced it with oral medication, slowly, and then eventually it just switched around, so he was totally off the syringe driver and just on oral medication. That made him happy that he didn't have to worry about having this extra bag, which wouldn't go with his suit for the wedding day. And obviously it was less worries then of us having to wait for the district nurses to come and do the syringe driver. We were just getting married then, so we didn't have to think about the fact that he had cancer and all that comes along with it. So. Christmas last year was our first Christmas as a family of 4. We had Dorothy and James Lee stayed with us. Did you stay Christmas Eve?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you did. Ring the bells?
Oh, we did. So we stayed Christmas Eve and got to spend Christmas Day with us, which was our first together as a family of 4. And at this point Lee wasn't very well. He was sat down a lot and slept a lot, but was adamant that he wasn't going anywhere. He wanted to be at home for Christmas. So we had the hospice at home team come out to us most days. I think it was the day after Boxing Day, me and Kath, Lee's mum, sat down and just sort of knew that we had to do something more. So I spoke to the hospice at home team, and the specialist nurse came out, and she actually got the consultant to come out and see Lee. And it's a difficult one because he was confused, but they have to get consent in order for him to go in. So he must have knew, because he was like, no, I need to go now. always go away New Year's Eve, and we'd go to just a Premier Inn somewhere, go for food, go for drinks, bring the new year in together, and then come home the next day. And then obviously he was in the hospice this time, and I was very adamant that I would stay with him. I didn't want him to have I didn't want him to be on his own for New Year. So they got me a bed. I stayed in his room, and at this point he was just asleep most of the time. He didn't wake up. So yeah, I stayed with him, and then he passed away just after 10 in the morning. And he was dead. So this year we're changing tradition, and I'm having a party to celebrate Lee's life. So I need to change the tradition that we had to something good. So yeah. Me, Lee, and both of our families will forever be grateful for Trinity Hospice, all the nurses and the doctors and the Hospice at Home team for making sure that me, Lee, James, Lee and Dorothy had our first and last Christmas together.